Consider the following statements regarding the demand for a Constituent Assembly. Statement 1. The demand for a Constituent Assembly was first raised in 1934 by M.N. Roy and was later supported by the Indian National Congress in 1935. Statement 2. The demand was initially rejected by the British government, but it was later accepted in principle through the Cripps proposals in 1942. Which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? Options: Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. Option D, neither 1 nor 2. Correct answer is option A. Statement 1 is correct. The idea of a Constituent Assembly was first put forward by M.N. Roy in 1934 and the Indian National Congress officially demanded it in 1935. Statement 2 is incorrect. The demand for a Constituent Assembly was accepted by the British government in principle in the August offer of 1940. Not through the Cripps proposals of 1942. The Cripps proposals were rejected by the Muslim League. Which among the following statements is not correct with respect to the composition of the Constituent Assembly? Options: Option A. The total strength of the Constituent Assembly was 389 with 296 seats allotted to British India and 93 seats to the princely states. Option B. Seats in the British provinces were divided equally among Muslims, Sikhs and general communities. Option C. Representatives of the princely states were to be elected by provincial legislative assemblies. Option D. The method of voting for the representatives was proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. Correct answer is option C. The given statement in option A is correct. The total strength of the Constituent Assembly was 389 with 296 seats allotted to British India and 93 to the princely states. Option B statement is also correct. Seats in British provinces were divided among Muslims, Sikhs and general communities in proportion to their population. The statement in option C is incorrect. The representatives of the princely states were nominated by the heads of the princely states, not elected by the provincial legislative assemblies. Statement in option D is correct. The voting method for the representatives was proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. The first meeting of the Constituent Assembly was held on December 9, 1946, with the Muslim League boycotting it. Statement 2. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the temporary president of the Assembly. Statement 3. The Objectives Resolution moved by Nehru laid the foundation for India's governance and sovereignty. Statement 4. The Objectives Resolution was adopted on January 22, 1947 and its modified version forms the preamble of the Constitution. How many statements given above are correct? Options: Option A only 1, Option B only 2, Option C only 3, Option D all 4. The correct answer option C. The first meeting of the Constituent Assembly took place on December 9, 1946. The Muslim League boycotted the meeting, demanding the creation of Pakistan, and only 211 members attended. Statement 2 is incorrect. While Dr. Sachidananda Sinha was elected as the temporary president of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was later elected as the permanent president. Hence, this statement is factually incorrect. Statement 3 is correct. The Objectives Resolution was moved by Jawaharlal Nehru on December 13th, 1946. It set out the fundamental goals for India's independence, sovereignty, and the structure of governance. This resolution laid the philosophical foundation for the future Indian Constitution. Statement 4 is correct. The Objectives Resolution was adopted unanimously by the Constituent Assembly on January 22, 1947. Its modified version was later incorporated into the preamble of the Indian Constitution, which reflects the vision of the framers for a sovereign, democratic, and just India. With reference to the minor committees, consider the following pairs. Pair 1, Finance and Staff Committee, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Pair 2, Credentials Committee, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer. Pair 3, House Committee, B. Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. Pair 4, Order of Business Committee, S. Varadachari. How many of the above pairs are correctly matched? Options. Option A, only 1. Option B, only 2. Option C, only 3. Option D, all 4. The correct answer is option C, only 3 pairs. The minor committees, Finance and Staff Committee, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Credentials Committee, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer. House Committee, B. Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. Order of Business Committee, Dr. K. M. Munshi. Ad hoc Committee on the National Flag, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Committee on the Functions of the Constituent Assembly, G. V. Mavlankar. Ad hoc Committee on the Supreme Court, S. Varadachari. He is not an assembly member. Committee on Chief Commissioners Provinces, B. Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. Expert Committee on the Financial Provisions of the Union Constitution, Nalini Ranjan Sarkar, not an assembly member. Linguistic Provinces Commission, S. K. Dar, not an assembly member. Special Committee to examine the draft constitution, Jawaharlal Nehru. Press Gallery Committee, Usha Nath Sen. Ad hoc Committee on Citizenship, S. Varadachari, not an assembly member. Which of the following members were part of the committee entrusted with the task of preparing the draft of the new constitution? Statements. 1. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar as chairman. 2. N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar. 3. Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer. 4. Dr. K. M. Munshi. 5. Syed Muhammad Sadullah. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Options. Option A, 2 and 3 only. Option B, 3, 4 and 5 only. Option C, 1, 4 and 5 only. Option D, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The correct answer is option D, all of the above. Among all the committees of the Constituent Assembly, the most important committee was the Drafting Committee set up on August 29, 1947. It was this committee that was entrusted with the task of preparing a draft of the new constitution. It consisted of 7 members. They were Dr. B. R. Ambedkar as chairman, N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, Dr. K. M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Sadullah, N. Madhav Rao. He replaced B. L. Mitter, who resigned due to ill health. T. T. Krishnamachari. He replaced D. P. Khaitan, who died in 1948. Consider the following statements regarding the enactment of the Constitution of India. Statement 1. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar introduced the final draft of the Constitution in the Assembly on November 4, 1948. Statement 2. The second reading of the draft Constitution started on November 15, 1948 and ended on October 17, 1949. Statement 3. The third reading of the Constitution began on November 14, 1949 and the final motion to pass the Constitution was declared on November 26, 1949. How many statements given above are correct? Options. Option A, only 1. Option B, only 2. Option C, all 3. Option D, none. The correct answer is option C, all 3. Statement 1 is correct. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar introduced the final draft of the Constitution to the Assembly on November 4th, 1948, which marked the first reading of the draft. Statement 2 is correct. The second reading, which involved clause-by-clause consideration, started on November 15th, 1948 and concluded on October 17th, 1949. During this stage, over 7,600 amendments were proposed and 2,473 were discussed. Statement 3 is correct. The third reading began on November 14, 1949, and the motion to pass the Constitution was moved by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on November 26, 1949, which was declared passed after being signed by the members. Consider the following statements regarding the criticisms of the Constituent Assembly. Statement 1. Critics argued that the Constituent Assembly was not a representative body as its members were not elected by universal adult franchise. Statement 2. Critics praised the Constituent Assembly for being a fully sovereign body independent of the British government. Which of the statements given above are correct? Options: Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. Option D, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A, 1 only. Statement 1 is correct. The Constituent Assembly was criticized for not being a representative body because its members were not directly elected by the people on the basis of universal adult franchise. Statement 2 is incorrect. Critics argued that the Assembly was not a sovereign body as it was created by the British government's proposals and held its sessions with the permission of the British government. With reference to the adoption and creation of the Indian Constitution, consider the following pairs. Pair 1, Rhinoceros, symbol or seal of the Constituent Assembly. Pair 2, Sir B.N. Rao, Constitutional Advisor or the Legal Advisor. Pair 3, H.V.R. Iyengar, Secretary to the Constituent Assembly. Pair 4, S.N. Mukherjee, Chief Draftsman of the Constitution. How many of the above given pairs are correct? Options: Option A, only 1. Option B, only 2. Option C, only 3. Option D, all 4. The correct answer is option C, only 3. Elephant was adopted as the symbol or the seal of the Constituent Assembly. Sir B.N. Rao was appointed as the Constitutional Advisor, the Legal Advisor to the Constituent Assembly. H.V.R. Iyengar was the Secretary to the Constituent Assembly. S.N. Mukherjee was the Chief Draftsman of the Constitution in the Constituent Assembly. Consider the following statements regarding the Indian Constitution. Statement 1. Prem Behari Narayan Raizada hand-wrote the original Constitution in a flowing italic style. Statement 2. Vasant Krishan Vaidya contributed to the calligraphy of the Hindi version of the Constitution. Which of the statements given above are correct? Options: Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. Option D, neither 1 nor 2. Correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Statement 1 is correct. Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada handwrote the original Constitution in flowing italic style. Statement 2 is correct. Bihar Ram Manohar Sinha illuminated and decorated the original preamble, and Vasant Krishan Vaidya contributed to the calligraphy of the Hindi version of the Constitution. Consider the following statements regarding the Hindi text of the Constitution. Statement 1. The 58th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1987 inserted Article 394A, making provisions for an authoritative Hindi text of the Constitution. Statement 2. The Hindi translation of the Constitution is authoritative only if revised by the President. Statement 3. The Hindi translation and its amendments have the same meaning as the original English text. How many statements given above are incorrect? Options. Option A, only 1. Option B, only 2. Option C, all 3. Option D, none. The correct answer is option D, none. Statement 1 is correct. Article 394A was inserted by the 58th Amendment for the authoritative Hindi text. Statement 2 is correct. If difficulties arise, the President can revise the Hindi translation. Statement 3 is correct. The Hindi translation and its amendments are considered to have the same meaning as the original English text.